Dynamite エンパイア。今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるってよ。みんな、ブローキンケーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
Yeah, hear the battle cry under the devil's sky. The one-winged angel screams. It fuels my hopes and dreams. The best
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with our co-host, King Rome. How are you doing tonight, sir?
You know, I'd like to say that I'm doing good. It was a great episode of Rampage. Some great stuff's going on Twitter right now. But at the same time, the very same stuff on Twitter is, honestly, I'm just kind of sick of it.
Yeah, man, some people are just like, hey, you know what? Twitter lets me have the right to be a complete asshole for no apparent reason. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it goes beyond just being an asshole. Like, at what, at certain points, but yeah.
So, which topic do you want to start with on the Twitter? The old QT Marshall, or do you want to start with Riho?
I would say let's start with Riho. I feel like these incidents kind of go hand in hand with each other. So I guess we could start with Riho.
Yeah.
She deactivated or turned off her Twitter today, I believe. And a lot of it is because of just the vitriol that gets sent her way on Twitter and just the awful things that are said. Just the racist for one, the racist shit that's being said. Even down to things of like her weight, her size. Like it's just disgusting, man. It's just absolutely sickening. And like in the past, like sometimes you'll say things like, "Oh man, did you hear what Cornette said about somebody?" Or you'll say like, "Oh, look at Cornette's like thumbnail. Isn't that funny?" And it's like, man, like that's one of those guys, and that's why I just have this really strong stance against it because a lot of it comes from that section of not just wrestling fandom, but the wrestling media. The Cornettes, the Rajas, the JDs. It's like just absolute fucking trash cans pretending to be human beings. It is just it's not acceptable. It's not okay, and you would expect people that have been in the industry, whether you're covering or whether you're just Raj who's covering or you're Jim Cornette who's actually done things in the business, you would kind of hope and expect that these guys could, would treat the business with more respect than trying to get clicks online. And although I guess if that's just who they are as people, that's just them exposing themselves. But yeah. So I think that the Riho stuff was disgusting. Just the fact that the fact that someone has to turn off their Twitter, I think is just ridiculous.
Yeah, whatever happened to the old, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, man. Like, people are just so quick to just insult somebody now. It really bugs me, dude, the way, 2023, we need to turn things around and everybody needs to start being nicer, man. This is, it's just getting out of hand. It really is.
Yeah, but again, like people are going like, how do I want to put this? In general,
So lame, but
in general, people are followers, and that's why I do look to people like Cornette, people with a platform. If you have a platform, you have a responsibility to act a certain way, and because at the end of the day, like that shit matters. And we could say that like, oh, well, people need to be free thinkers, people need to be individuals, absolutely. But if you command a following and you get these people to follow your rhetoric, I mean, we've seen that shit happen in history. It doesn't end well. It doesn't go well.
No, yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's disgusting between with Cornette and all of his followers and Riho. There is a I'm trying to remember who on Twitter. I retweeted it. So if you go follow me on Twitter, there's like a well wishes thing for Riho's, where you can kind of like leave a message, and this person knows Kenny.
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's
really cool.
Jay on Twitter. He knows Kenny, and he's like, these messages will get to Riho personally through Kenny on Sunday. So I would definitely recommend going to my Twitter, going through the retweets. I signed it. I left a message. I would recommend everyone doing the same thing. Raj Giri. Raj Giri is a fucking just an absolute piece of trash. Along with him, just general garbage. And look, man, like we were joking, and I will still defend QT, but my hat is off to QT for
Oh,
QT Marshall, for just the way the way he's handling these fucking creeps. And you see it all the time. Like the AW roster is a very close knit family. Like that's why all of the AEW women's roster fucking went after JD when he was a piece of shit. And like you see it here with Raj, and then even QT getting into it with JD tonight a little bit. Like JD knew that he did not want that smoke. I don't think he responded to it at all, which is probably the smartest thing JD's ever done, to be honest. Um, but so yeah, I mean, just the back and forth tonight between QT and Jordan put it best: when the old people die, we'll be better off. It sucks to say, but it's kind of true. Um, But yeah, obviously Raj going back and forth with QT, and QT just fucking owning this guy on Twitter. Like you can say whatever you like about QT Marshall in the ring or how you feel about him, but my God, this man has won Twitter today.
I got the tweet up right now.
Which one? That's how
The
great it
most
is.
recent one, I think.
The DM one.
Yes.
Yeah, so after all this shit, Raj goes into his DMs knowing that he looks terrible. He tries to turn it around. And again, QT's not having it. Like it's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Raj Giri, absolute piece of shit. Fucking below garbage on the fucking food chain. Um, Along with the Cornets of the world. It's a shame. It's just fucking disgusting. Like these people.
That shit is savage.
I loved that Raj tried to claim that he's done more in wrestling than QT. I lost it. I fucking lost it. Um,
Dude, QT actually has won me over, and I'm actually going to be cheering this man now when I see him.
Look, man, and we're gonna talk about it when we get to the QT stuff later. Because I still do want to kind of focus on this what we're talking about. But yeah, man, QT's got it, man. And you don't have to see it. That's fine. And we'll talk more about it later. But yeah, just in general, like, just be fucking nicer to people. And like, and again, like, I'm a big believer in this: is that do not amplify these people. You know what I mean? Like, do not, like, just don't let them drift away into obscurity. But yeah.
All right. Well, we here absolutely freaking love Riho. That's all I have to say. And she definitely, solidified my love for her here tonight with this match against Nyla Rose. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Just I thought this was an excellent episode of Rampage. What about you?
Completely agree. Thought it was an absolutely excellent episode.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our Rampage review here. This is episode number 125 of the Broken Tables podcast. This was Rampage from the Golden One Center in Sacramento, California. And we started off with Action Andretti versus Sammy Guevara. You know, unfortunately that this hatred that is following Sammy kind of like puts a little bit of a dampener on his matches, especially for like the first quarter of it. But man, this dude is so good. He like forces the crowd to start cheering for him now. I barely heard any you suck Sammy chants this time. There was like one guy trying to start the chant and it wouldn't take hold. They put on a freaking fantastic match here, and I loved how commentary was just putting Andretti over like tremendously here. Did you notice how much they were talking about him?
I do. I also don't think that. I mean, we you do bring up the Sammy thing,
Yeah.
every time he wrestles still, but I don't think that it's as strong. I don't think it's really a thing anymore. I mean, he's a
I'm gonna
heel.
start cheering him next time I'm at shows just to be like the different guy.
Cheer him. He is a heel. He wants you to boo him. That's the whole point.
Well, true.
But I get it. I thought this was a really great match. This is what I would call a great Rampage match, where it's just two young guys going out there, getting like 10, 15 minutes to get some work in and just doing a great job doing it. And it was a really enjoyable match. Both guys looked really good by the end of it.
Yeah, there was a spot in this where Andretti was doing a jump off the top rope, and Sammy hit him with like this spinning back super kick to the face. Man, it looked nasty. They had a great midair collision. That's one of my favorite spots when the guys are running the ropes and they come into the middle and just collide with each other. That's a great spot. Action Andretti was showing some really good apron skills, when they're on the side and bouncing off the ropes, doing flips and stuff down to the outside. The dude's can't believe he's only been in the business since I think they said a month after AEW became a thing in 2019 is when he started wrestling. That's wild. Only only about 4 years this guy's been wrestling. That's crazy to be that good.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing really good, and I think he's really being set up very well for success in AEW. I mean,
Yeah.
and like you
Jericho,
said,
yeah.
Jericho's on commentary putting this guy over, acting like he wasn't just feuding with him, um, which I enjoyed. I appreciated it. I think that Jericho tonight was very good. He put over a lot of the young guys when he
100%.
needed to, and yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I thought Jericho did a great job here as well. That springboard 450 splash from Andretti, man. I thought that was like a new finisher or something. That shit was impressive as hell, but he only got a 2 count. And then we got a really nice table spot. Sammy tried putting Andretti on the table, but he kind of just got up and replaced himself with Sammy. And he did the whole I'm crazy and mocked Sammy thing. And thank you very much for the shout out to the podcast. And Andretti hits a beautiful frog splash through the table, man. That was nice. Drags Sammy's body into the ring. Garcia pushes Andretti off, and I hate when I see Garcia get involved here, but Andretti was up on the top.
Why?
I know they're heels. I know they're supposed to cheat. They always talk about it. I thought Garcia was gonna get away from these guys for a while, but it looks like he's back to embracing the JAS, permanently. So we'll see where that goes. But uh, Garcia pushes him off the top rope. We get a GTH from Sammy, and 1, 2, 3. Action Andretti has lost this match due to some interference from Garcia. Well, I feel like because Andretti was a little bit connected with Starks, I almost feel like it's still this same thing going on here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Jeff, we have breaking news.
Breaking news, go for it.
Uh, Buffalo Wild Wings is being sued over their boneless wings, with an irate customer claiming there is no wing meat in their boneless wings. What are your thoughts on this, Jeff?
Boneless wings have always just been another name for nugget of some kind. And
So
that has
here's the thing.
always been made with the white breast meat and other various parts of the chicken.
So here's the thing, and I know this is going to be a hot take, an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to own it. I prefer boneless wings.
Yeah.
I
We make some pretty good boneless wings over there at Curly's, don't we?
well, yes, obviously Curly's, but I'm just saying, like, in general,
Yes,
if
yes.
I go to a place that has both bone in and boneless, I'm going with boneless. Now, here's the reasoning. Here's the reasoning. Bone in wings take way too much work and they don't get enough meat out of it.
And they're more expensive.
And they're usually more expensive.
Yeah.
When we
If
go, like, when the wife and I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, she gets like 6 wings for like
Jordan's
$15.
all, is it a Karen? Well, obviously. Oh, yeah, yeah. But I completely agree with you, but sometimes I'm just like in the mood for a bone-in wing.
Oh, sure,
And
yeah.
I'm down to smash some, but for the most part I do go boneless as well.
Okay, Coach Nick agrees with. So this is not a hot take. Oh, look, even Natasha rather eat boneless. I don't want to
Yeah,
interrupt.
I mean, the
Exactly.
best part of
It's
boneless is
so.
like if you're doing something like, watching Rampage and taking notes and you don't want to get your fingers dirty, like you can use a fork and just be like bang bang into your sauce, you know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Ah, there
Everything's
it is, Jordan. Yeah.
exactly. You can grab a fork. You don't need like a million napkins. You don't have to
Yeah,
like.
that's funny.
And then like
Jordan typed that as I was saying it.
and then like let's say you have your drink as well, right? So it's like you're eating your bone in wings and your hands get all dirty. Then you gotta grab your drink and then you put it down and then you clean your hands and then you grab your drink and like oh
Yeah.
my hands are dirty again. Like, bro, it's so much work. It's not worth the effort. It's
No,
not.
so Coog, my family actually runs a restaurant out here outside of Philly called Curly's. Um, and we make our own boneless wings. We hand bread them and everything. So we were eating Curly's food. I had a cheesesteak with some sweet and spicy wings. Rome had barbecue and mac and cheese. Yeah.
Anyways, carry on.
Yeah. Anyways, this match was great. I'm done with the Sammy hate. I'm not even gonna mention it anymore. I haven't even heard any Sammy sucks chants anymore, so I'm cool with it. Great match. You know, I can't wait to see where Action Andretti goes from here. I hope it's not a 6-month long JAS thing, but we'll see where it goes. Next up was one of my favorite promos of the night here. We had Darby Allin in a promo, and right off the bat, he mentions people talk about him becoming a world champion. And he says, next week he's going to make what he was talking about clear when he said he wants to go out in a blaze of glory. So I guess next week on Dynamite, we're going to find out what he was talking about. What do you think he's talking about?
I will tell you after the next segment.
Okay. So the next segment was a Jungle Boy promo saying he's putting everybody with a belt on notice. What would you take from this?
Well, Jeff, let me lay it out for you, right? What was the first match of the night here on Rampage?
Action Andretti and Sammy Guevara.
Who picked up the win?
Sammy Guevara. Pillar.
Well, there you go. You're starting to get it. And then after that, and Sammy's been racking up wins, by the way. After that, we have a Darby Allin promo.
Pillar.
And there you go. See, oh, now you're getting it. Darby Allin talks about how he's got some goals that he wants to do before his his short time in AEW's up because he's so destructive. And after that, we have Jack Perry.
Pillar.
There you go. There he is. Jack Perry talking about how he wants gold. All three of these guys, different motivations. What do they all have in common? They're fucking pillars, along with Maxwell Jacob Friedman. What Jeff, remind me, what is MJF's opinion on the other three pillars?
Oh man, I mean, I forget exactly what he said. Didn't he say no? That was CM Punk that said
He doesn't call them
MJF was replaced with Britt Baker.
he doesn't call them real pillars. He says that he's the real pillar, and they are all not doing their work, and they should not be called pillars. I think that we are leading into a four-way dance for the world title at Double or Nothing. I think that that is the play. I'm figuring that
Cool.
out tonight. I think you're going to have the Pillars finally go at it in a four-way dance for the title. I think that is the plan. I mean, that's just the way I interpret it. I mean, the only one that I'm not sure how you fit into it right now is Sammy, but I think you could have him just easily kind of come out if Darby and Jack Perry are in the ring with MJF, you could just have Sammy come out and be like, "Hey guys," like because we've never had the Pillars like at the same time in the ring, and I think that would be a really awesome thing to do.
That match would
Um,
be insane.
yeah,
It'd be so good.
I think that's their plan. I think that right now, so it's March. We have until the end of May. We got about what is it, like 60 days, give or take, um, to lead into this pay-per-view. Actually, it's more like 80 days.
Dude, I'm
But
like speechless right now just thinking about seeing that. Oh my god.
yeah, Coog, that shirt will be very valuable on Double or Nothing weekend. That's just what I see. I mean, obviously they could go a different route where they're just going to do these guys one by one by one. But I mean, Tony Khan, he's a smart booker. Like that's the way he books, and I usually feel like I have a pretty good track record of picking up on these things, and I think that's the play. Um, which I'm very excited for. I mean, and they all have kind of different reasons for wanting to do it. Darby, he knows that he's here for a good time, not a long time. Jack, he wants gold, and Sammy just wants to be Sammy and be the best pillar. Um, but yeah, I think that's the way we're gonna go with it.
That's good, man. I like it.
Hmm.
All right, next up we had a Will Hobbs and QT Marshall promo letting us know that QTV will officially take place with the first episode next week, and we will find out they're going to reveal who really broke into Wardlow's car. So it looks like you might be right here that they're going to address it afterwards. All they needed to do was put the title in QT Marshall's hands, and it would have been like he did it. You know what I mean? But I'm okay with it. Let's see where it goes. Absolutely loving this now.
Well, so here's the thing, right? So number one, he makes it clear. So for those who were not with us yesterday when we did our Dynamite review, everyone's like, "Why is QT doing this? I don't understand." Last time we saw QT on TV, what did he say to Will Hobbs? He said, "I got your back. My word is my
Yep.
bond." And what does QT say tonight? "My word is my bond."
That's going to be his new thing. It's going to be a shirt.
It doesn't even need to be a shirt. It's just again, it's that was the point. Like it's called long-term booking. They made this plan and they stuck it out.
So
Sorry, guys.
did you see my tweet where Will Hobbs like tweeted out the DMs from QT Marshall that was like, "Hey, we're gonna use you this weekend. Can you make it to Jacksonville for like the first time that they brought him in?" And he's like, "I'll make it there no matter what." So like
Yeah.
QT Marshall's the one that brought him into the company essentially, man. This is long term.
Yeah, no, it is. Look, man,
I'm digging it.
I feel like this might be my gimmick at this point, where I have to kind of convince people to believe in these guys and girls that are actually really talented. QT's great, man. He
You're
really
batting
is.
1,000. I'll tell you that much. I have not seen you fail yet. So
I have not.
you brought Coach Nick over on Hangman. You brought me over on Hangman. You brought me over on Orange Cassidy. Like,
Yeah.
you're batting 1,000, bro. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I called the Acclaim before they got super huge. Yeah, I did. Look, man,
Another pillar, if you ask me, dude. That's a tag team pillar, if we have any, for sure.
a tag team pillar. I like to keep the pillars very simple, just because that's
know.
Tony Khan's word, and it's when Tony Khan formed the company. Those four guys were the guys he envisioned as the top guys in 10 years. So that's why, like, obviously, you could argue, like, hey, there's all these other guys, and like I think Jordan did that in the chat a little while ago. You just let it be. You gotta just stick with the four, and that is what it is.
Yeah.
Jordan did it too. QT trained all your favorites that are young. Like,
Exactly. Yep. I was
QT
saying it the other night, Jordan. QT is what you call textbook, man. He may not be impressive to the eye, but everything he does is perfectly done by the book, man. Just perfect.
Absolutely. And again,
Yeah.
like how we talk about it, QT, he's a great heel. He's able to get Taz was tweeting about him tonight. He was like, QT gets a heel reaction the right way. And like I again talked about it yesterday. Like as fans, we're allowed to like who we like and boo who we don't. And sometimes that means cheering a heel and booing a babyface. But for pro wrestling to really be at its peak, be the best that it can be, you need guys that you just don't like. You need guys who
Mhm.
make you feel this way, where it's like, oh, I can't believe this match ended that way. Oh, I
So
can't believe that this guy is annoying me. He's so annoying when he's on TV. And there's a difference between go away heat, where you just don't care, and like, I don't like this guy. Like Natasha freaking out in the Discord saying, like,
so
he shouldn't even be in the title picture as a support
yeah.
character. Like,
So
that's
I
it.
have an example of how QT Marshall made me feel right then and there when he helped Hobbs win the title. So back in the day when Paul Heyman would come out, I hated Paul Heyman. Now, of course, I completely appreciate his genius. You know what I'm saying? The guy is just
Oh, yeah.
amazing. Everything he touches is just gold. But I hated him so bad when he was in his like heyday with, Lesnar, and especially even when he was with Punk, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So like QT gave me that vibe now. Now that I'm looking at it a couple of days past, I'm like, man, he had that I just can't stand hearing this guy, on the mic and everything. Like I think I think we're in for a good time here with QT and Hobbs.
And I also want to make the call, and obviously we'll see what happens. I think that this new role for QT is going to be more of a managerial role, which
Yes.
I think that that even amplifies what you can do with QT. I think that that's a really great like position for QT to be in, because it seems like he and Hobbs are sticking together, which I love. I love it. I think it's a great pairing.
Yeah.
I think QT is extremely talented. He's training all these young guys. He's doing a great job there. QTV is going to be a weekly segment, and I think that's going to be really good. I think the gimmick's going to really work for him. It's great, man. Like, look,
Ooh, if
he's
it's
great.
I hope it's like a talk show segment, which obviously it sounds like it's gonna be, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like Miz TV, QTV. I'm hoping so. But
Yeah.
all right, let's go on to our next spot here. We had The Acclaimed versus Starboy Charlie and Jack Cartwheel. Um, dude, these two guys, these guys looked like a couple of the only word that really comes to mind is doofuses. These
Mhm.
guys looked like a couple of doofuses for sure. Um, huge scissor me daddy chance on this one. Some great rap by Max Caster, of course. Acclaim stomped these two guys out in about 2 minutes flat. Get the mic drop for the 1, 2, 3. Um, After the match, we got Daddy Magic and Angelo Parker coming out to the top of the ramp with some Jericho Appreciation Society shirts. And Daddy Magic just keeps on yelling, "We love rap music. We love rap music. We love rap music." And I was like, dude, what? I was like, say something else, Daddy. But this was great. I thought this was hilarious. It looks like they're still trying to convince them to join the Jericho Appreciation Society, but yeah, that's not happening. Um, I love the 2.0 guys. That's just what I'm going to call them because it's easier to say than their names together. I hope we see a decent match between these two teams. It's going to be nice.
I think this has a lot of potential to be a very good rivalry strictly because of how funny it's going to be. I think it's going to
Oh
be a
yeah.
very entertaining feud.
That's a good point. Both of these teams are extremely entertaining when it comes to the mic and stuff, so that's going to be good. All right, next up we had a Chris Jericho promo for the trios match. Um, I thought that was a decent promo, kind of saying that they think they're going to win this match, and I don't believe them one bit. So, still.
I don't really have a problem with the promo itself, but for some reason it really kind of weirded me out that like Jericho was on commentary while they were
Yes.
playing a Jericho promo.
I was about to mention that myself. It definitely felt, I guess, awkward would be the word.
Yeah, like they make it clear that they filmed it on Wednesday, but
Yeah.
my thing is like, well, shouldn't that be something Jericho wants to talk about? So like, if Jericho's on commentary and he was going to talk about it tonight, like, wouldn't he like open the show like, I have something I want to say because I'm on commentary right now?
That would have been a much better idea. Yeah, put the camera on him at the commentary desk and have him cut that promo right there sometime.
Yeah, and I
100%.
get it. They wanted to have Sammy and Danny there, but I think you could have had Sammy and Danny there after the first match. I mean, you could have had walk up the
Yeah.
ring, walk up the ramp, and do the promo live.
And
It
you know
was
what it
real.
is? You know how they've been doing this interview after the match type thing, like a lot of the Revolution matches got it. I think they're trying to utilize that just a tad bit too much. Like right there would have been perfect to go to Jericho sitting at commentary. You're right, for sure. But next up, we had a really good match here between Preston Vance, Pedro Peligroso versus Takeshita. Oh my god, I freaking love Konosuke Takeshita, man. This dude, like I said, he is one of my favorite signings to aid. He signed, right? Right? We
Yeah.
got the graphic and everything. This dude is one of my favorite signings. I love this guy. He can even get on the mic and handle himself. It's not bad at all. Dude, I absolutely love every minute of this guy in the ring. Like, I barely take any notes because I just can't look away, you know?
Yeah.
I love how Don Callis joined us for commentary on this one. Um, when Don Callis sat down, I lost my shit when JR says, "For the love of God." He was all like, couldn't believe Don Callis was joining him there. That was great. This match kicked so much ass. If you have any way, shape, or form of being able to go watch this match, I definitely recommend you checking this match out. Dude, after a blue thunder bomb, Takeshita hits Vance with a V trigger while he's on his knees. I thought he killed him. This looked just as good as any Kenny Omega V trigger I've ever seen. Vance was just on his knees and he just obliterated him with his knee. I like audibly yelled, "Oh my God," in my living room. This was absolutely brutal. Jose jumped up and grabbed onto Konosuke's foot on the ropes. Konosuke jumps outside the ring and absolutely annihilates Jose. I just loved how, how sometimes the wrestlers are just distracted and they just are like beyond belief that somebody could be trying to distract them outside. Instead, Takeshita was just like, "You son of a bitch," and he got out of the ring, punched him in the face, and got right back in the ring and got right back to work. Like, it was like 3 seconds, didn't waste any time. It was just perfect. Like, Takeshita, he gets it. You know what I mean? I love this dude. Really, really good finish to this match. So Takeshita gets one of those backslide high stack pins for the 1, 2, 3. And with Don Callis, offering his services to Takeshita, and this is the first match, I guess, with Callis in the services of Takeshita.
Yeah.
And Takeshita finishes this match with, I don't know if you know, but they did kind of mention it. This was something that Don Callis loved to finish his matches with, was the backslide. So I thought that was a nice touch here that Konosuke finished the match with something that Callis used to do all the time. That was good. Jericho even mentioned, like, "I haven't seen you do that since '91."
Yeah.
All right, so great match here from Konosuke Takeshita. Next up, we had a Swerve promo on Keith Lee saying that Keith has taken out both of his affiliates. They're both put up on the shelf. Oh, go ahead.
Breaking news: Raj Giri has deleted all of his tweets that were in regard to QT Marsh. What
It's just like, I give up. I'm done.
a scrub! What an
The
absolute
white flag. I wish I had a button for that. The white flag has risen for sure.
Also, apparently Walmart's getting ranch flavored ice cream. That's just disgusting. I don't even. Oof.
See, when it comes to ice cream, like being a chef, like I can't think anything anymore because I have seen fish flavored ice cream and I was forced to try it and I was like, how did you make this taste good? You know what I mean? It's like, it's so weird, dude, that some chefs can do some crazy shit with ice cream. I swear to God, it's wild.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's wild, dude. But I don't see how they're gonna do it with ranch, but we'll see. I just hope they're not going this like savory route now with ice cream. Like, get out of here. No, thank you. But next up, the Swerve promo on Keith Lee says the affiliates are on the shelf. But you know, he may have lost the battle, but he is going to win the war. You know, normally I love these Swerve promos, and normally he knocks it out of the park. I wasn't too into this one. I was just kind of like, all right, you know, okay, whatever.
Thought it was good. That was
Yeah.
good. I don't have any issues with it. I mean, yeah, it was definitely wasn't his best work, but
Yeah, it wasn't his
uh,
best. I guess that's what
uh,
I expect a little more, I guess.
so funny thing happened. So this promo was on Instagram. I don't know if it
Okay.
was Swerve's account or AEW's account, but like Rick Ross commented on it. He's like, "We will not lay down," and I'm like, "Please bring Rick Ross back."
Please, man.
Uh,
That was
yeah.
one of the best things ever, dude.
Yeah. Anyways,
All right, next up we had Mark Briscoe with his in-ring promo on the Ring of Honor titles, the future of the Ring of Honor titles. You know, he says him and Tony got to talking, and Tony asked him for an idea, and he said, "Hey, how about at Super Card of Honor? We have a ladder match. We get some of the best tag teams in the world in that ladder match, and we call it the Reach for the Sky ladder match." I absolutely freaking love this idea. I hope it's an every year thing, the Reach for the Sky tag team, you know, ladder match. We get the first entrance come down to the ring, none other than the Lucha Bros, Cero Miedo. Looking awesome in their suits, by the way, man. That looked nice. Both of them were wearing nice suit with their masks on. Love it. What do you think of this Super Card of Honor Reach for the Sky ladder match, man?
well, for starters, I'm very excited for it. Was got a little not disappointed, but I don't know if we're gonna be able to do our usual pay-per-view thing, because did you realize the start time for this pay-per-view?
No.
It's a Friday at 7 p.m. because it's WrestleMania weekend.
Well, that's not a problem. As long as I know that ahead of time, I'll clock in an hour early and clock out an hour early. So that's no
There
big
you go.
deal.
Oh yeah, that's good. It's the day before my birthday too.
Yeah, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be a nice birthday for you there.
What do
So
you
this
want?
did remind me about my promise to give away a couple of those Briscoe shirts. I had completely spaced that, so I am absolutely sorry. Natasha, in Discord, DM me your email. What I'm going to do is a gift card to the shop AEW. That way you can go choose your size of your shirt and everything. I never really thought about it when I said I was going to give away a shirt, so I was going to like buy them, but don't know any sizes, so I'll let you guys buy them, and that way I don't have to get your addresses. So, Natasha, hit me up with your email, and Coog, I believe yours as well. All right. This was great. I'm loving Ring of Honor right now. Unfortunately, we couldn't do our review here tonight. Both of us had problems with the Ring of Honor app, so we'll probably do episode 2. You know, once we get a chance, maybe we'll throw it in somewhere along the lines here, but.
I
We'll try
hope
to get
so.
that one done.
I have no idea what's going on with my
Yeah,
Ring of
I'll
Honor.
try to get that fixed for you. I fixed mine, but work was so busy today, I did not have time. So
Yeah, like I don't know, like, and my internet's fine. I mean, this like right now we are doing a live stream. I'm online. I have a YouTube video of the podcast. I was watching YouTube on my laptop
yeah,
earlier.
it's weird.
I
It went
tried
down for
signing
me last night too, but
in.
mine was back this morning, and then
The phone
just didn't
app's
have
not
time.
working for me, and it's not my internet because I even took my phone off my internet and the app wasn't working. I have no idea what's going on in my household with Ring of Honor, but
Gotcha.
yeah, I could not
All I
finish.
gotta say is I was able to see about half of the Athena versus Willow match, and oh my god, I can't wait to finish it because it was insane.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we had Stokely Hathaway cutting or not really cutting a promo, but it was like a little bit of a recap on what's going on with him having a I'm sorry, Is this a no holds barred match with Hook? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's going to be
Okay, it is.
a no DQ match. Yeah.
For some reason, I was like didn't want to misspeak there, but yeah, no holds barred match with Hook. Everybody's banned from ringside. This is gonna be great. Can't wait to see Hook just absolutely kill him. Taz was already talking about it. He's like, "Oh, that guy's in for some pain." You know, it's gonna be great. Although I think we might get swerved, and Stokely's gonna have the Firm come back, and everybody's gonna beat him up. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And next up, it was time for the main event. Riho versus Nyla Rose, our very first AEW Women's Champion, versus our second AEW Women's Champion. And I absolutely loved the video package that they put together for their first two matches before this. It wasn't that long, it was only like 30, 45 seconds, but I absolutely loved it. I was so happy that they made that. And it was just as they were starting to announce the match, I was like, oh, tell me they have a video package for their other matches. And sure enough, they started playing it. And I was just like, this is so good. And, you know, that first match between Riho and Nyla Rose was really, really good. And this one, I think, was just as good, man. I thought this match was very, very good. All these people on Twitter, I don't know what the hell you were talking about. You guys obviously either don't watch or just have no idea what you're talking about. This match was amazing. Nyla Rose is 11-1 in her last 12. Riho is 23-4 in her last 27. I don't know why they gave us such odd stats like that, but you know, showing that both girls have been winning lots of their matches here. Nyla Rose basically tried to bully Riho for most of the match, and she kind of did, but Riho fought her off for most of the time. The crowd, man, the crowd just absolutely loves Riho, just like we do. I mean, I can't imagine any of these people talking their crap. I can't imagine any of them being actual AEW fans. I feel like AEW fans love Riho. We like legit love this girl. Like, you know, I got my 1 of 1,000 just front and center of Riho right here. She's one of my favorites. You know what I mean? It just really bothered me that was going on. I'm gonna stay off of that subject there. She kicked so much ass tonight. Riho absolutely brought it.
Yeah.
What did they give these girls? About 15 minutes, and I think they even went over. They went past 11 for that little extra minute that we got at the end there. Nyla Rose went for a big Vader bomb into the into the corner. Nobody home. Riho gets the crucifix bomb, only gets a 2 count. Marina Shafir interferes, grabs Riho's leg. And I tell you what, right here, when Marina Shafir interfered and grabbed Riho's leg, I thought that was it. I thought Riho was going to do the old, oh my God, I've been distracted. Nyla was going to grab her, finish her. But Nyla does grab her, but Riho reverses it. She hits the roll up, the old school, just most devastating move in sports entertainment. And she picks up the roll up win for the 1-2-3. Excellent freaking match here for the main event of Rampage. Love when the ladies get the main event. I love when they kill it like this. Love Riho. I can't say enough about it. The only problem I have is Riho didn't get any time whatsoever to celebrate. Marina Shafir attacks. Nyla Rose attacks, gives her a power bomb, and then the outsiders show up and spray paint the L's on Riho, and that's how we go off the air. I get it. The outsiders, dastardly, you know, we're supposed to hate these girls. I just really wanted Riho to get like 1 second of yay, you know, but that's just me being a petty, picking on little tiny things. You know, this was great. I loved this. Do you think we might get to see someone like Riho be another member of this group? I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I would hope that she's going to be staying in the States. See, I don't know, man, because I feel like the way that the Hikaru Shida storyline was set up, I mean, she's one of the 5. So, I mean, if you have if you have Jamie, Britt, Riho,
Willow.
Willow, and Shida, that's 5. but I kind of feel like they're setting the story up a little bit here for maybe Nyla to join the OGs as well, as she should. Um, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out. I think that there's a lot of there's 6 great choices here, and you only need 5. I mean, obviously you could have one of them kind of just be part of it. Uh, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think it's only fair that we mention Triple H fears Riho.
Hmm.
Uh,
He
this was
does.
great, man. I had an excellent time here watching Rampage tonight. I don't know why more people are not tuning in. Like, at no point was I like, I wish I was doing something other than watching Rampage. Like, at no point did I feel like that at all.
It's just not a good time slot for them.
No, yeah, it's just, yeah, we gotta figure something out with that time slot if that's the case. Natasha says if Nyla joins the OGs, Riho won't. I don't see Nyla joining the OGs because she's a heel, pretty much. Like, she's a big time heel. I don't see her joining the OG girls at all, even though she is one. You know what I'm saying? But you know, anything's possible. I really feel like it's gonna be Jade. If we do 4, I feel like it's gonna be Jade. There's just gonna be some OG girls that do get beat down by the outsiders that make us really hate them more, like them beating down Riho's really gonna, that's really gonna put some heat on them. So, we'll see. Do we got anything lined up for Dynamite yet? Did they announce any of the card on Dynamite that you know of?
Now we do have a little bit of the lineup for next week. However, before we do that, I mentioned in the Discord, I have some actual legitimate breaking news for you guys. Not good news. AEW Fight Forever may be hitting another bump in the road in its release date announcement. Um,
No.
Now, Jeff, did you hear about this? Literally happened like as Rampage was ending. So, did you hear about this?
No.
So there is currently, so obviously AEW put a trademark in for the term "Fight Forever," and the paperwork has been filed last week to fight AEW's filing of the term "Fight Forever."
Hey, what?
So AEW, when they made this game, they put out a patent, a trademark on the term "Fight Forever."
Yeah.
That's the name of their game. Um, the patent the paperwork has been filed for a challenge of the patent. So basically, the person or the entity, let's say, that have filed this paperwork, they're saying that AEW does not own the rights to fight forever, and that they own the rights to fight forever. Um, and I'll just
Who
let,
is said entity?
well, let's just say they like to think of themselves as game changers. GCW, it's GCW, Jeff. GCW has, yeah, GCW. So
Oh, that's a good way to get somebody that could possibly be your fan base. It's not your fan base.
So paperwork was filed with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office a few days before Revolution. Points to another possible holdup in the game's release date. GCW is formally opposing AEW's registration on its Fight Forever trademark, with documents indicating the two companies are currently in settlement talks. Um, Basically, that's all going on. Um, and the deadline could go as far back as May 31st if a settlement's not reached. The So obviously people are coming out of the wood, fans are coming out of the woodwork saying that this is GCW once again kind of working closely with the Fed, with WWE. Um, Brett Lauderdale, head of GCW, he put out a quick little tweet saying GCW has never and will never ask for $1 of Tony Khan's money. A few people responded with, "Yeah, of course, we know you're not asking for Tony Khan's money because you already have Nick Khan's money." Um,
Yeah.
which- Great. Um, yeah, I think that this is kind of dumb. I think generally this is just them trying to delay the game's release, hoping that
How
Tony's gonna pay
my
some money
question would
away.
how could they think they have a right to the fight forever?
I would assume maybe because maybe the fans chanted "Fight Forever" at a GCW show one time. A lot of people on Twitter are saying that it's very hypocritical of them because of all the times they use copyrighted rap music or really just in general copyrighted music at their shows without consent of the copyright holders. So, people are kind of slinging them, dragging them through the dirt as they should.
So,
Um,
question for you: when you say that they work with the Fed, or why are people accusing them of working with the Fed?
well, so Brett Lauderdale and Stephanie McMahon have had a long public friendship slash relationship. Brett has frequented certain events. I think he was at last year's WrestleMania with Stephanie hanging out backstage. They just clearly there's some sort of close ties going there.
Is
People
that
just
Banana Man's cuck?
possible. Um, but that's generally what it comes down to. A lot of people think that GCW is in um, WWE's pocket. A lot of people think that, and I also do believe in that.
Oh man, GCW, that is a great way to take an entire fan base that could possibly enjoy some of your shows and have all of them give you the fucking finger. Like, are you serious right now, man?
Well, so people are saying that is why, when asked about Fight Forever at the media scrum, Tony Khan made it very clear the game is done. It's finished. It's ready to go. Um, but this popping up is something that AEW obviously can't control. But obviously it can lead to the game being delayed. So, I mean, that's just a story we're going to have to keep our eyes on moving forward.
Dude, their style of wrestling is not what. Are they gonna try to become the new ECW? Are they gonna try to like? That would be.
Well,
That'd be
again, there's
funny.
been a lot of speculation, and I know people are like, "Well, why would GCW work with WWE?" Well, so here's the thing, right? As I've said, we're in a wrestling war, and there
Yeah.
are promotions that are going to try to buddy up with WWE. We saw it with Impact. AEW and Impact were working pretty well together, and then you saw it. They distanced themselves from AEW. Impact, they stopped promoting when they stopped promoting cross stuff. They stopped sending talent from Impact to AEW.
Yeah, I
They
know you
sent,
do, Jordan. I know.
they sent Mickey James to the Royal Rumble. Like, there are certain companies that unfortunately, like, they're going to try to ride off of WWE's gargantuism, like how big it is. And GCW is just one of those companies. Like, they're going to buddy up with the McMahons because they're not trying to be as big as they can be. If they can ride off of those coattails and cash, some checks, that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, they could easily become the next ECW because I
No,
was gonna say like that's not the type of stuff WWE fans like, but they do have that little corner of their fan base still. Ugh, it's gross. I hope the judge slaps that down. They're you. I'm I'm just laughing at that. Like, unless somehow they did copyright the term "fight forever" a few years ago for whatever reason, I can't see a judge letting that do anything. That'd be stupid.
Yep.
But
Anyways,
we shall see.
so coming up this week on Dynamite, Jade Cargill will be defending her TBS championship in an a Canadian Open Challenge. The trios titles will be on the line in a trios three-way dance: the Elite versus House of Black versus JAS. MJF will have his re-bar mitzvah celebration live. We will hear from the. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. That's weird.
Remember that happened that one time when we were on the game room too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, anyway, we're almost done anyway. You guys can just hear my
Yeah,
voice.
no worries.
We have the AEW International Championship, Orange Cassidy versus Jeff Jarrett. We will have the debut of QTV, and also signed. We will have a trios match. Hangman Page, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson versus the Blackpool Combat Club. And that's what we got.
Stu!
That's what we got for Dynamite. It's a big show. It's gonna be a really great show.
Evil Uno's in that match.
Yes.
Ooh.
The disembodied voice of Raw. So what happened?
Yeah.
I'm
What's
so
that?
happy. Here's what happened. I'm so happy with QT Marshall that I have died and now I'm kind of like Forrest. I'm just like I'm a virtual entity.
Yeah. Just do the old disembodied voice thing.
Yeah.
You got anything else that you wanted to talk about tonight? I think we got most everything off our chest, huh?
That's generally it. I'm good. Just disembodied voice.
Right. All right. Well, go ahead and give us a close us out here. We'll get on out of here.
Absolutely. Well, this has been episode 125 of the Broken Tables podcast. Thank you for everyone hanging out with us live here tonight on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe on your way out. If you want to get our thoughts on AEW Dynamite, go check out our Wednesday night Dynamite review, which we did on Thursday night this week. It was our 500 subscriber special. If you like video games, because we were just talking about AEW Fight Forever, be sure to check out the Game Room podcast, which is usually on Monday nights where we talk about video games. Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League got delayed, possibly out of this year. That is most likely going to be our big topic of discussion on Monday night, so please come hang out with us. You can follow us at our social medias in the description below. I am still a disembodied voice floating around in the airwaves, and fuck Raj Giri and fuck JD and fuck Jim Cornette. And have a great weekend, everybody.
I can't follow that one up. So everybody have a great night. Peace. Top guys out.